Definitely a little noisier earlier this afternoon. Here's a time lapse from our Tellico Village to Nassau Cove camera, and you'll see when that storm made its way through Loudoun County. It's the same one that made its way through Blount County over the airport and had a 49-mile-per-hour wind gust. It was this cell. You can see it moving across the area. Heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and then basically it was done. Now we still have some rain showers across the area, no severe weather, but we're going to continue to see some moderate and at times heavy rainfall as we go through the night until a cold front pushes through late tonight into tomorrow morning. Some heavier rainfall in the Plateau, Cumberland, through portions of Morgan and Roane County. That's where the brighter yellow is. Even the darker green and yellow, that's where we have some heavy rain in the downtown Knoxville area. So everybody's seeing rain tonight, starting to taper off through the morning, but notice our temperatures will go from the low to mid 60s now into the low 40s by daybreak tomorrow. In fact, you'll wake up at about 48, 6 a.m., continuing to drop to about 44 by 8. And by the afternoon, we're going to struggle to get back in the low 50s. The other concern, wind north at about 15 miles per hour, so it will feel much cooler. Now, as all this moisture moves out, the Smokies will see a little bit of light snow by daybreak. I know, we were close to 75 in some spots today. Tell you how much coming up in a minute.
All right, thank you, Ken.
No severe storms for us overnight, but still the threat for some locally heavy rainfall, maybe some ponding on the roads, and low-end threat for some flooding. Still seeing rain right now falling on the plaza there, Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies in Gatlinburg. Roads are just wet, a little bit of standing water, but nothing too terrible at this point. But again, we're going to continue to see these waves of rain moving from southwest to northeast until a cold front pushes through the area. That front just about to the Nashville area now, so we've still got several hours of the opportunities of this rainfall. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Where you see the brighter yellows, Harriman, Wartburg there in Morgan County, that's some of the heavier rainfall. Green is moderate. The blue is the light rain across our area. And of course, no lightning. We're not going to see any the rest of the night. But let's take a look, 6 predictor, as we go into tomorrow morning. You see the kind of waves of rain continuing, and that purple, maybe a snowflake mixing in as it exits across the plateau, but really we're talking the higher elevations of the Smokies, seeing this end as some snow as we go through the late morning hours, and then sunshine quickly returns. They'll hold on to the cloud cover till probably mid to late afternoon, and then everybody sees a little bit of sunshine. So rain's the biggest story here through tomorrow morning, an additional inch to maybe 2 inches in some spots. And that could cause some problems, again, with some ponding on the roadways. But I know we were in the 70s today, 80s earlier in the week, and you're like, what do you mean snow? But yeah, there could be some 1 to 2 inch totals across the higher terrain. And if you're visiting, don't get too nervous about this 1/2 inch to 1 inch in the Gatlinburg area. If we saw that, it would be on some grassy surfaces at best. Roads are going to be fine, just way too warm. It's the higher elevations, 441, probably going to be closed, I would imagine, with those higher terrain areas. But just a reminder, it's still March, right? But this isn't even the coldest air that we're going to see. Highs tomorrow, struggling to get back into the 50s. Some will be only in the 40s across the plateau, plus it's breezy, making it feel even colder. Chilly start Friday morning. We're in the low to mid 30s, but I don't know that we see much in the way of frost because the wind stays up a little bit. But if you kind of live in a sheltered area, probably not a bad idea to cover up the plants. And then high temperatures Friday, not bad at all. Low to mid 60s, partly cloudy, just a little breezy, but a nice day. In fact, looks nice into the weekend as well until we get to Sunday night. Some gusty winds across the area. Those winds get brought down to the surface, the higher elevation winds could see some issues with that. So let's talk about that. These are winds being forecast about 6,000 feet. Put it in perspective, Knoxville's 800, less than 900 feet off the ground. So this is way above our heads, but sometimes what we see is when these heavy rain showers occur, we can see some of these stronger winds brought down to the surface. So could we see some 40 to 50 mile per hour winds overnight Sunday into Monday as this cold front comes through? Certainly a possibility, so that's something we'll need to watch. Biggest thing you're going to notice though is behind that front, colder conditions. Highs only 48 Monday, 44 on Tuesday, but that's after starting out with lows in the teens and 20s on Tuesday morning. That's a hard freeze. You definitely want to protect the plants if any are starting to bloom after sunset Monday. It will get cold quickly. That is a bit of a concern across the region. Thankfully, it doesn't last long. We do start to thaw out with temperatures in the low 50s as we go later into the middle part of next week for our Wednesday. About 53 for a high after a low of 30 in the morning. Bo.
All right, Ken, thank you. Sports Director Sam Granville joins